Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Stadium Rant proudly presents to you the most electrifying wrestling show in the world. And we are your hosts. I'm the Bake Show Shake and Bake, and tonight I got the Nard Dog Bernard Green along with me. And tonight we gotta make some predictions, Bernard. We gotta ask some questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to know, are we back? Is Finn Bálor back? Is the prince to be crowned soon? We'll talk about it. AJ Styles made a big decision on Monday night. We also have to talk about that. Didn't put that in the description. Shame on Shake, but we can fix that in post. Don't you worry. We will also talk about the latest season of WWE Unreal. They're peeling back the curtain. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about it, and Bernard and I will tell you just how we feel about it on our end. And to end the show, chat, what you probably are looking forward to the most, we are going to discuss and predict the outcome for Saturday night's main event. A little bit of a shorter card, not that much going on, but definitely some heavy implications. Some new faces joining the fold on a major main event picture. Could be interesting going on here, but before we get into it, Bernard, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. Another week coming down to an end. Looking forward to some this weekend. It's NFC was conference championship week in NFL. And I'm pretty sure Sarah Marshall is rooting for her Patriots hard. Shout out to you, Sarah Marshall, if you come across this video. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Listen, the Patriots are playing a backup quarterback. It's not like it doesn't count, but like, come on. But I digress. Yeah, championship weekend in the NFL. It is also the debut of UFC on Paramount. What do we got on there? You got Patty Pimblett, my boy Patty the Batty, fighting for the interim title against Justin Gaethje. That's going to be a banger. I'm excited for that. It's also my cousin's birthday, so I'm going to be at the bar for that. But man, I will be seated watching that fight. I will try. I hope if the bar doesn't have it, I'm not going to be happy. But yeah, let's get into the wrestling. Enough of the UFC stuff. Nobody came here for that. Are we back, Bernard? Wow. What a main event on Monday night. Finn Bálor took on CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. You might have seen the clip that was posted on Stadium Rant social media. I thought maybe Finn Bálor could be world champion in 2026. That crowd reaction in Ireland was absolutely phenomenal. The fact that they went back to his old music was kind of interesting to me as well. And it was like Bálor country, obviously, because he was back in Ireland, right? But he was really over as a babyface, and then obviously CM Punk. But I feel like we're getting close to this Judgment Day thing coming to an end, especially with Finn Bálor having that taste of singles action. He might be like, do I even need the Judgment Day? They didn't show up. I didn't ask them to. He looked great. It was back and forth the entire time. Did that do anything for you for Finn Bálor going forward?
Well, I must say right now, no. But from what that performance from Finn Bálor and CM Punk and all, it could be well on his way back to where he belongs in the first place. That was a phenomenal match, even though he didn't win. That was a phenomenal match, and it's like I kind of feel we kind of getting maybe a face turn from Finn Balor, and like you say, does he really do the Judgment Day? I think the Judgment Day should end already because I think the faction has gotten stale. And that I think everybody needs to freshen up. You got Raquel Rodriguez going after world title. You got Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez going after the women's tag team championship. Dom is nowhere to be found. JD McDonough is nowhere to be found. So yeah, this could be a potential end of the Judgment Day, possibly. Um, but back to your point with Finn Balor, yeah, this is if you go put Finn Balor back on the map, this is where to do it. I think during the time when a certain someone was running the company, it hinders him, it hinders his growth, not his growth, it hinders his run at the time when he was the first Universal Champion. But being that Triple H and always involved, I think he'll love Finn Balor back in his NXT days. And I think that's the direction that we're going in. But if this keeps up, I say yes, Finn Balor's on his way back into the main event scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to. It's been getting pretty stale with this whole Judgment Day thing. And it's like every time they get close to breaking up, they're just like on some run again together somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I think that world championship friction between the women and the Judgment Day is going to become very real. I thought they were going to rip the Band-Aid off right when Liv got back and she was going to jump this whole nonsense, but they're playing the slow game with it again. And I also thought it was very interesting, Bernard, how Liv was so lovey-dovey with Roxanne backstage on Monday. And she was like, at first, I thought you were this, that, the other, lying, cheating, conniving, all that stuff. But now I know you're a prodigy. You're my prodigy. Like, was that fishy to you too? Because I was like, yo, why, and why now?
Right. Yeah. I think what it is, I saw what Liv did there. All that is cap, especially when she put all of that, especially when she put that emphasis that you're my prodigy.
That was weird.
That's gonna give Roxanne like, wait, hold up now. I was the prodigy before, I came to WWE, and before, before I came on the main roster, and I'm the prodigy now. So I think down the line, that there's gonna be some friction between them, but or maybe it could be like an early planted the seeds between them. But it's interesting for sure. We'll see what happens from there, but I know there's friction between her and Raquel Rodriguez, as far as that women's title picture is concerned, women's world title picture is concerned.
She just doesn't want the smoke with Raquel right now, and I think that's smart. But this is also something I thought of when you were going there. I think this is a bit of storytelling too, because when they were in the ring together, what was the first thing Liv said to Rhea? She said, talking to Io, it's going to be the same thing all over. This is what Rhea does. She's going to turn on her tag partner. I know. She did it to me. Was she foreshadowing the fact that she's going to turn on Roxanne if this whole thing doesn't go well? Like, is that what happened Saturday? I mean, we can get into that a little later, but I thought that was interesting that she specifically brought that up. Like that, Roxanne in the back of her head's got to be like, why are you thinking about that?
Yeah. I think it could be a possibility, but see, like I said, Roxanne's a prodigy, and I think she's going to jump the gun on Liv by turning on Liv before she gets turned on by Liv. That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, you know what they say, Han shot first, and if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, no, I think we Are we back? I don't know. Fully with
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor, I don't know if we're fully back. But I think that was a really important first step for Finn Balor to get out there and get the shine from CM Punk, get that rub from him, raise his hand at the end of the match. And not just that, he looked really good in that match. There was some really fun spots, and like CM Punk, as I saw someone say this on Twitter, he just looks absolutely hosed after every single match, and not in a bad way. In the way that he is giving it his all, and he's balling. I didn't watch too much of his AEW stuff, but I'd say on a consistent basis, he's working better than he was in AEW. He looks to be in better shape. He looks to be much happier, and this is great for CM Punk. I think this has been a nice little title reign for him.
Yes, I think I totally agree. See what it is? It's like what people like. But being you said it with people, well, with wrestlers like CM Punk, the Drew McIntyres, the Cody Rhodes, anybody that been in WWE, and that when they first go around with the company, it go well, but then at the same time things kind of gotten stale. You don't like management, creative, whatever, and all. You may have to take a step back and go elsewhere to reinvent yourself and come back. And I think that's what CM Punk did, and Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes. You went elsewhere. You win championships and all, but it's not home. And being that WWE is the global brand of wrestling and all, it's like WWE is home, especially to those guys I just mentioned. I think AEW, I still think right now they're still a little green. They're immature as far as ownership and all wise. And I don't watch AEW that much, but when I do watch clips and like little highlights and matches here and there and all whatever my father-in-law watches, AEW, it's like, yeah, they got some talent there. It's just that I don't really too care for the ownership. And with CM Punk, when he was there, I think he saws that. No matter what Seth or Drew McIntyre, anybody say about CM Punk, but CM Punk's a veteran. He's no dummy. He sees what's going on, what's need to be done, who needs to grow up, who needs that. And it's like you say here in WWE, he feels more content. He feels more at home. He feels more comfortable and in his element of performing in a ring, which he loves best. So to your point, yeah, he does look good. He does look better, but I think the time in the ring of him is ticking. It's ticking.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the long end of his career is over. He's on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
He won a world title. Not saying he's done next year or anything like that, but yeah, his days are certainly numbered. I mean, we saw this week that Becky Lynch said this contract is her last contract. Seth Rollins is probably getting to that point in his career as well. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, these are all people that are getting to the end of their rope there. And now we're
Roman
starting
Reigns.
towards a new generation. Yeah, Roman's another one you can add to that. The list goes on and on. R-Truth, it just goes on and on. And these are also some names that have appeared in season 2 of WWE Unreal on Netflix. And a lot of people have had a lot of things to say about this show. I love it. I think it's so great for this current generation of fan and the current growth of WWE. I think it's a very, very good thing. But I also understand some of the takes I've been seeing online of, people like, you got to defend wrestling. You got to keep secrets, this and that, kayfabe. I mean, Bernard, without spoiling it for people, I've only seen 2 episodes. There's some people that have probably not even watched it yet. But, how do you feel about WWE Unreal as a whole?
Okay, so I want to say I'm playing both sides of the fence, but I kind of see where both ways are going. Okay, number one, let's look at it from the business standpoint, and then I think I'm gonna put it all in one with the third point. Let's start with the business standpoint. I totally get what Paul Heyman is saying. You know, he said, this is what makes our money. This is what put food on the table. You know, we got to protect the business and the brand of what we do. Um, you know, I think, and especially, I remember if was it me or you or I think Sarah mentioned it back then. You know, being that social media is involved heavily of what's going on in the world, that plays a factor as well. So I kind of understand that from the business standpoint. Now let's look at the fan, and I'm gonna tell you why Paul Heyman feels that way too, from with the fan standpoint. By this docu series comes out, which goes back to the mix to the Vince McMahon series and all, what Triple H and everybody like, okay, like good guy and the bad guy. You know, they don't like these guys, they don't like these people, they don't like each other and all. But you know, from a fan standpoint, when we see what really goes behind the scenes, I mean, people already think wrestling is fake, but when people see the same people backstage, that they just beat the hell out of each other and all. Like I said, they all laughing, smiling, shaking hands, and hugging and kissing, whatever it is they're doing. It's like that's what Paul Heyman is saying, that you know, you like they are exposing the business. And that's when us fans, well, some fans from a fan standpoint, that we, you know, like, dang, it's like, what? So all this is, so you mean to me all this right here has been a fake, wrestling is fake. So wrestling is fake, wrestling is fake. Which brings me to my third point. What Becky Lynch or anybody says, I guess in the first episodes of Unreal. If whether it's if you felt something, if you feel like, you know, like with characters and what they're from, what they said and all, if wrestling make you feel something, then wrestling is a fake. Again, whenever I do my green room segments, and it's coming up soon, guys, I still stirring up some things. It's like I based on pro wrestling and the characters that they play based on what goes on in real life. You got these friends and buddies and factions. Oh, we good, and so up until the time where the opportunity presents itself, you know, things go haywire with this shit. So let me ask all you fans something. You shake bait chat. You sure wrestling's fake? I don't think so. I mean, because if wrestling make you feel a certain way, it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel sad, it makes you cry, it makes you pissed off, heck, it makes you want to go crazy. Then wrestling is not fake. And on
Yeah.
that note, I rest my case on that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, to the whole, is wrestling fake? What do you mean by fake? Is my
Right.
question. Are they legitimately out there in a athletic contest to
Mm-hmm.
see who is the better wrestler? No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not what it is. It is a performance. It's an entertainment art. That's what it is. It's no more real or fake than any TV show or movie you watch. It's the same
Right.
thing. It is
Same
the
thing.
same exact thing. And the people that think, you know, the issue is, I think there are people that go overboard with the wrestling is real thing, and there's so much to unpack there. And to be fully fair, we don't have time. We just don't. But there's something behind that. You know, it's not your average Joe. It's not your average wrestling fan. That's like, I think this person, I think, what's a good example? I think The Undertaker is The Undertaker the entire time. And Kane is really his brother. And he goes around acting like that in public. Like once you're 11, 12 years old, you probably don't think that anymore. You just get invested emotionally into the characters like you would in a TV show or movie. And that's what Triple H said in season 1 of Unreal, is like, people that enjoy wrestling are smart enough to suspend that belief. Like they understand that, but they get invested on anyway because it's entertaining, it's fun. And do they always really punch each other? No. They try to pull punches. Do they make contact? Yeah. And if they make contact, they get receipts. It happens all the time. But the goal is to not actually hurt the other person. So in that aspect, no, it is not real in that single aspect. But yeah, I mean, there's real emotions that go into this thing, and they are competing. It's just not, they're not physically competing. They're competing for the crowd reaction. They're competing backstage to be, I'm the better professional wrestler, sports entertainer, or however you want to call it. That's the real competition. And that's what I tell people. I was like, no, it's not an athletic competition, but it's a popularity contest. Everybody wants to sell the most merch. Everybody wants to get the biggest crowd reaction. That's how you get championships in WWE. AEW is clearly run a little bit different, and I think that's why some fans gravitate that way over another. But I think when people ask the question, is wrestling real? My response is, you're already thinking about it too much. Yeah. You are. Just enjoy it. It's fun. Who cares if it's real? These guys and gals are athletic freaks, and some of them are decent actors, and they put on these good stories, and WWE is a soap opera, and some AEW fans online are like, oh, the soap opera. I like my stories. Leave me alone. That's my favorite part about WWE is the storylines, the pageantry, the entrances, the promos, the pyro, the fancy championships. The wrestling in the ring is so far secondary to me. If it's not awful, I'm okay with it. If it's not awful and they told the story in the match, I give it a 3.35 every single time. I'm not disappointed. And maybe I'm rare for that. But my former co-host and one of my good friends, Teddy, said this years ago. The reason you don't enjoy WWE in wrestling is your own expectations. When you were a kid, you didn't have expectations. You just watched the shit and just saw what happened and felt. And liked a certain person or didn't like a certain person and watch next week to see what was going to happen. You didn't have all this backstage bullshit, dirt sheet, Twitter accounts that think they know everything, dude. Watching as a kid was the best experience, and I think more people need to do that. Damn, dude, you just tangented me so hard. Back to freaking WWE Unreal, and does it affect that watch it as a kid argument? Yeah, it kind of does. But I think it's so cool now because you do have access to these wrestlers on social media. Some of them are very active and do interact with fans on social media. Some shouldn't because foot and mouth disease sometimes, but some of it's really good. And they allow fans because everybody has a phone. As much as the company wants to protect the business, they can't in certain aspects, dude. How many phones are outside of every single show for hours to watch people walk backstage, walk to their bus, walk to the airport? Like, we see these people in real life every single day, if that's what your algorithm is. It's impossible to try to protect that. I think this is really cool because what it does is allows you to lean into these characters more. You now have a more personal connection with R-Truth. You know how many people don't know R-Truth for as long as we've known R-Truth? You know how many 10 to 15-year-old fans only know that new John Cena stuff, and then they saw all that went behind it, all this emotion for R-Truth. They're like, oh my God, I love R-Truth. And now what are they going to do? They're going to go on YouTube and try to watch more R-Truth stuff. Like, that's what this does. And I get protecting the business, but it's damn near impossible now. And what this does is it gets people interested. Seth Rollins said this also. He's like, I don't love it. I want to protect the business too. I'm part of that era, but like, this comes out 7 months. No, almost a year after what they record. What are we spoiling? This happened almost a year ago. We know what happened. Everybody tweeted these backstage stories months ago. It's just like people that didn't now have this knowledge, and they're like, oh my God, I'm more invested. I want to go see that person now. And if someone's a dick on WWE Unreal and they're a heel on camera too, that's great. Now I get it muddies the water for heels, but I think this goes to the how do I want to phrase this? Because I don't want to piss people off, but because this is not the intent to piss people off. It goes to separating art and artist, I think is the way I want to word this. Yeah, Becky Lynch is a really cool person. She's an awesome mom. But damn if the man character she's playing right now isn't grating and annoying and you want to see her lose every week. Like, I see it as, like, I love Becky Lynch. She's my favorite female wrestler of all time. And I love her as a heel. And now you're a guy who doesn't like heels, so I guess you can kind of take the mic here for a little bit. But I really enjoy heels because I remember as a kid viscerally hating Randy Orton, Edge, all those type of Sheamus when he first came in, all those type of guys, those really good heels. I appreciate that now. So now when I see those people doing those type of things and it's working, they're getting over with the crowd and it gets to me a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, what do we? And I'm like, yep, there it is. I start to like that. And then I see them outside of the ring on WWE Unreal. They're a cool person. They talk about that. And I'm like, okay, I'm more invested in that person. And maybe that's just me. But I mean, how do you feel about specifically like the heel stuff? Do you think that makes it harder to buy into a heel when you see them in Unreal and you're like, okay, I kind of like this person. They're cool.
Nah, well, yeah, I look at it like that, and also from what Becky Lynch's side, when I saw one of the first 2 episodes, it's like I kind of appreciate it a little more as a heel because I remember Triple H saying this one time before. It says like, for the faces, you need a good heel to get you, over the hump, and you got to make sure that you as good as you say you are. In order for you to be out, like top stars and all. So it's like, I still don't like heels, but I appreciate as a heel because it uplifts the baby faces to be the best version of themselves as a competitor, as a baby face, if that makes sense. That's why what goes back until like as far as championships is concerned, or Money in the Bank and stuff like that. When the titles are not prestige, or we're not prestige enough, or you have to represent a new title into the WWE scene or wrestling scene and all, do you put that title on a heel first in order to uplift the babyface wrestlers and all to catapult that title? That's exactly what I was saying back then. And it's like, for that right there, what Becky Lynch just said basically proves my point. She had to go heel in order to put Lyra Valkyria over, and she did that. So, to your point, yeah, I kind of do appreciate them a little bit now, being that how Becky Lynch break it down like that. Same thing with Oscar. Like she have to be a heel in order to uplift Io even more now, and probably Kairi Sane too, because it's coming, and so I get it.
I think that's a phenomenal example to this whole point I was bringing up about heels still being believable, even though they're nice and likable outside of the ring. Asuka's YouTube channel, she is the nicest, sweetest human being on the planet. I mean, my God. And then she is also a believable heel in the ring. So, I mean, that's just another good point to go off of there. But
Yes.
I like WWE Unreal. I think it's good for the growth of the business. I understand the old mentality, but in 2026, I just don't think it's realistic to try to protect the business in that way. But
I totally
listen,
agree.
that was a hell of a discussion there. Thank you, WWE Unreal, for kind of prompting that whole thing. But on to Saturday night's main event, Bernard. We got an interesting card stacked up. Kind of not necessarily the most star-studded, but it'll be fun for sure. And I think it's an opportunity for a couple of fun matches to go down. And I think there's some interesting storytelling that's going to happen. I think sometimes they try to just lean on the wrestling aspect of these Saturday night's main events. Like, oh, we're just going to have really good matches. And like the story is not going to be, I don't want to say as important because that's not what I mean. But it seems like this one is going to be very story intensive. There's only 3 matches announced so far, and we still have tomorrow night SmackDown, so I'm sure they'll add a match, maybe 2, to the card. But right now we're at 3, and we're going to go right from the bottom on down to the top. Let's start with the number 1 contenders match. It's going to be a fatal 4-way featuring the Viper, Randy Orton, Mr. Whoop That Trickin', eh? Whatever you want to call him, Mr. Trick Williams versus Damian Priest and Sami Zayn. Winner will go on to take on Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. How you feel about this one, Bernard?
Well, obviously, I think Sami is going to win, but I don't know why they keep putting Sami Zayn in these type of championship matches where he's going to obviously lose. I don't understand it. I think Damian Priest fits that spot more than Sami Zayn, but obviously I think Sami Zayn is going to take the victory in this. So it's going to be a phenomenal fatal 4-way, but Sami Zayn comes out the victor.
Okay. We're going to disagree early here, and that's fine. No issue. I got to go with Damian Priest in this one. I think, like you said, I think this is a better spot for Damian Priest. I don't think he's going to beat Drew McIntyre, but I think that would be a nice Royal Rumble match, get Damian Priest back in that picture. And like you said, I don't think they're going to put Sami Zayn in a championship match just to lose again, especially with how he's been disrespected consistently by the champion, by a newcomer in Trick Williams. I think it might be a little bit more of a slow build. And I was heavy on the LA Knight train, but a nice B-side contender for Money in the Bank would be Sami Zayn. From what I've seen from clips online about WWE Unreal, I hope to God for the internet's sake it's LA Knight, but Sami Zayn's a decent contender there as well. I got to go with Damian Priest. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. And you got to watch out for Trick Williams. He's going to be a player in this match. He's going to look really, really good. And I don't know why I have this feeling that Sami Zayn is going to be really close to winning the championship or winning the contendership, like about to pin whoever's down in the ring. And Trick Williams comes in and takes out him, thinks he gets the win. And then Damian Priest takes him out and gets the pin on Trick Williams. I just think something crazy is going to happen in the end. I don't really think Randy's involved. I kind of still feel like they want to do Cody versus Randy at some point. So I think Randy's just going to be there, RKO some fools, and make a couple bucks and call it an evening. Women's Tag Team Championship match, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky will take on Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. How do you got this one going, Bernard?
I kind of iffy on this one. I must say Rhea retains, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why. There's a rumor going out that Liv Morgan might win the Royal Rumble, and they want Liv Morgan to be that top new women in the women's division. I don't know how true that is, but I must say I'm gonna go with Rio. But I said they might make a last minute call and put the titles on them. I'm living on Roxanne. So I got Rio retaining. Can't hear you.
Sorry, I was clearing my notes. I got to go with Liv and Roxanne. I think they're going to end up winning the titles. I don't think this Rhea, Ripley, and Io thing was meant to go all that long. Both of those women are clear women's competitors. And my hope is still number 30 in the Women's Royal Rumble, Bianca Belair. She gets Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, who's had 0 televised defenses. I tried to defend her, but my God, they haven't done anything. And I don't even think that's really her fault. But I don't know. There's too much we don't know to really have an informed opinion about the Bianca Belair or the Jade Cargill thing. I just know it's not been good. But that being said, I don't think Liv's going to win the Rumble. I think they're going to have her win the tag titles. And we still get this kind of slow play. And Finn Balor's like, I'm so close to the world title, but like I feel like something's holding me back. It's a Judgment Day. And then Liv and Roxanne lose. Liv turns on Roxanne and that whole thing. And yeah, so I think oddly enough, Liv and Roxanne winning the titles is the beginning of the end there for the Judgment Day. So I'm sticking with that. This one, no title involved, no title implications, at least not directly. There's no number one contendership on the line. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, will take on the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, in a good old-fashioned blood feud because Jacob Fatu did indeed cost Cody Rhodes his title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu wins. I think they might roll this out or give Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes something to do until the Royal Rumble. And being that Cody Rhodes is taking a break of being WWE champion right now, keyword taking a break. I think them two gonna play around in the ring with each other up until the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I think I may agree with you on this one. I think Jacob Fatu gets a win. Cody Rhodes just lost his title, little hot-headed, maybe a little overzealous. I think he gets clipped. Caught by Jacob Fatu here. I think it'll be a fun match, obviously. I love both of these competitors, but yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a fun show on Saturday. It's like I said, it's my cousin's birthday. I won't be here for the live stream, but yeah, should be a fun show. I appreciate everybody watching along. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube. Hit the follow button over on Twitter. Like, retweet the stream as well. I appreciate you guys so much. We are the Ringside Boys. This is Ringside Rant. Check out StadiumRant.com for articles on your favorite teams, players, and leagues. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Acknowledge us.
The modern